I'm sorry, sir, we're fully booked.
But I have a reservation.
Excuse me, sir, I can help.
Thank you.
The Millionaire's test. Michael Harrison wasn't just rich. He was the kind of wealthy that made headlines. Hotels, restaurants, real estate. His empire stretched across 3 continents. But money had taught him one cruel lesson: people only saw dollar signs when they looked at him. So he decided to run a test. He walked into the Grand Meridian, one of the most luxurious hotels in the city. But he didn't arrive in a suit or a luxury car. He wore old jeans, a faded jacket, and scuffed boots. His hair was messy, his face unshaved. He looked like someone who just hitchhiked across state lines. The lobby was massive, marble floors, crystal chandeliers. Everything gleamed like it was made of gold. Michael walked up to the front desk, where a young woman in a crisp uniform stood. Her name tag read Sarah. "Good evening," Michael said politely. "I'd like a room for the night." Sarah barely looked up. Her eyes scanned him from head to toe, and her expression shifted. Disgust replaced professionalism. "Sir," she said coldly, "this is a 5-star hotel. I don't think you're in the right place." Michael smiled. "I have money. I can pay." She smirked. "I'm sure you do. But we're fully booked." "Fully booked?" Michael raised an eyebrow. "I can see empty rooms on your screen." Sarah's face hardened. "Look, we don't allow people like you here. You should try a motel down the street." Michael didn't argue. He just nodded and stepped aside. He wanted to see if anyone else would treat him differently. Minutes passed. Other guests walked in, well-dressed, confident, dripping in designer brands. Sarah greeted them with bright smiles and warm hellos. She laughed at their jokes. She offered them complimentary drinks. Michael watched it all. His heart sank a little, not because he was hurt, but because it confirmed what he already knew. People judged books by their covers, always. Then something unexpected happened. A young woman in a maid's uniform walked past him. She was carrying fresh linens, her arms full. She noticed Michael standing alone near the corner, looking tired and lost. She stopped. "Excuse me, sir," she said gently. "Are you okay? Do you need help?" Her name tag read Elena. Michael looked at her, surprised. I just wanted a room, but they said they're full." Elena frowned. She glanced at the front desk, then back at him. "Wait here, let me see what I can do." She walked up to Sarah. Michael couldn't hear the conversation, but he saw the tension. Sarah shook her head repeatedly. Elena insisted. Finally, Sarah rolled her eyes and turned away. Elena came back to Michael. "I'm sorry, sir, she won't budge. But listen, my shift ends in an hour. There's a small guest lounge upstairs. You can rest there for a bit. I'll bring you some water and food." Michael was stunned. "You don't have to do that." Elena smiled. "Everyone deserves kindness, no matter what they look like." She led him to a quiet lounge on the 3rd floor. It wasn't fancy, but it was clean and comfortable. She brought him a sandwich, a bottle of water, and even a blanket. "Thank you," Michael said, his voice thick with emotion. "You didn't have to help me." Elena shrugged. "My mom always told me, treat people the way you'd want to be treated. It's that simple." She left him to rest, but Michael couldn't stop thinking about her words. The next morning, Michael returned to the hotel. This time, he wore a tailored suit. His shoes were polished. His watch cost more than most people's cars. He walked straight to the front desk. Sarah's eyes went wide. "Good morning, sir. Welcome to the Grand Meridian. How can I assist you today?" Her voice was sugary sweet now. Fake, hollow. Michael didn't smile. "I'd like to speak to the manager." "Of course, right away, sir." Within minutes, the hotel manager appeared, a nervous man in his 50s. "Mr. Harrison, what an honor. I had no idea you were visiting. Is everything all right?" "No," Michael said calmly. "It's not." He explained everything. How he was turned away the night before. How Sarah treated him like trash. How no one else cared. The manager's face turned pale. I'm so sorry, Mr. Harrison. This is completely unacceptable. Sarah will be—" "Wait," Michael interrupted. He looked around. "Where's Elena, the maid who helped me last night?" Elena was called down. She walked into the lobby, confused and scared. When she saw Michael in his suit, her eyes went wide. Elena, Michael said warmly, thank you for your kindness last night. You treated me like a human being when no one else would. She blushed. I just did what felt right. Michael turned to the manager. I want Sarah fired, immediately, and I want Elena promoted to front desk supervisor. She's the only person in this hotel who understands what hospitality really means. The manager nodded quickly. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Sarah stood frozen, her face red with shame. She opened her mouth to protest, but no words came out. Michael looked at her one last time. You judged me by my clothes. You forgot that respect isn't about what someone wears, it's about who they are. I hope you learned that lesson. Weeks later, Elena stood behind the front desk in a new uniform, greeting guests with the same warmth she'd always had. Michael had also arranged for her mother's medical bills to be paid and set up a scholarship fund in Elena's name. When a reporter asked him why he'd done all this, Michael smiled. Because kindness is the rarest currency in the world, and when you find someone who truly has it, you invest in them. The lesson? Never judge anyone by their appearance. You never know who's watching. You never know whose life you might change. Treat everyone with dignity and respect, not because of what they have, but because of who they are. That's the kind of world we should all be building.